Good evening, everyone. This is the Salt Grump, also known as Stelna or K. Wilson, depending on who you talk to. And I have an absolute rager of a headache, so I am not going to be continuing my last autumn stream. Instead, I am going to be kicking around Builder mode in the Endless set. This is going to be me deliberately, well, not being on my game. I've had a raging headache due to issues surrounding today, and, well, this is very much me blowing off steam. So, don't worry if I don't comment too much. I will be trying to pay attention, but as usual, because I play full screen and do not have a second monitor, I will not be able to monitor the chat nearly as well as I normally would be able to. If someone pops in, I will use them as my sounding board, so, well, we'll see what happens. Enjoy the show. As you can see, I have decided to go for the Rifts map. This is a new map that came with the expansion pack. So, let's see how much fun we get into. Damn right I am turning on random hazards, because I'm an asshole. So, this is new. The generator we were building has exploded. That's a good start. Roused by violence and chaos, took our families, fled to our construction site, the only place that offered hope. Now our task is harder than before, we have to rebuild the generator from scratch. Clear the ruins, find the plans, no time to waste. Weather keep getting worse for 50 days, then it will go crazy. We will not survive without a generator. Now, most of you that know me know that I am a bit of a naval historian, amateur entirely, but at the same time I enjoy the shenaniganery and all. And New Edinburgh sounds nice, not only because of the fact that the actual Scottish city was nice when I visited it many years ago, but because of the fact that I do have a soft spot for the ship HMS Edinburgh, one of the town class heavy, light cruisers of World War II, that ended up mostly surviving incredible amounts of damage before eventually being scuttled by her own side after being snapped in half in a battle. So, in this case, it seems apt that we are trying to rebuild a ship, or in this case a generator, that has snapped. Well, that's a good start. Whoo! This generator is fucked. Look at that. So we got a bunch of ruins. Couple of destroyed steam core transports. That's going to go over well. And we start with a bridge. In our Book of Laws, we have adaptation and purpose to battle hunger, sickness, apathy, and fight ways to fight discontent, restore hope. So, the classic stuff. Emergency shift. Damn right. We're going to be using it, you know? Everything is, as usual, a frozen hellscape. We have 85 workers and 25 engineers and 15 children. Fucking kids. So we have, well, it looks like 4 tents already built, but we're going to need more than that. Sorry about that. I think we already have a medical post. We already got the cookhouse. Well, we can build a cookhouse. We're going to need a hunter's hut soon. Look at all that debris. Everything that is highlighted white is debris, salvage, whatever you want to call it. It's wrecked. It's wreckage, it's ruin. It is absolutely, completely shat upon by what happened here. And due to shenanigans and fuckery, we can't actually plant our gathering depot too close to the wrecked generator, so we're going to have to adapt a little. Let's plant it right over here instead. That'll be a good start. It has some coal, some steel, some wood, and the actual generator wreckage next to it. But actually, no, that's not a good spot. What we're going to do is we're going to put it over here and start clearing out the wrecked buildings nearest to the generator. So those two set up, we can actually start establishing, well, some semblance of clearing. So we're going to take this slow and easy for the moment, because, yep, the generator is still quite very fucked. As you can see, by day 4 it'll get even colder, and day 5 has another cold snap. And of course, people are already being uppity over the fact that we might have to work long hours, so fuck them. On the tech side, we have bridges, which each cost 150 steel and 200 wood, and a strong need for workshops in short order. If you look carefully at the wreckage of the generator and down through the iron plating that's below it, you can actually see that while some of the stuff has survived, it looks very much like a near molten ruin down there. So this is a very good start for people to go, oh shit, no. So let's get these gubbins chopping wood and clearing wreckage as fast as they possibly can. So that'll start clearing things out short order. As you can see, we are very confined primarily by, well, simply the lack of space we have at the moment. While I would like to drop a hunter's hut immediately, instead I'm going to have to prioritize a workshop, simply because of the fact that we need the research to get going on this as soon as possible. Okay, we still have 25 people homeless after that quick building spree. Oh, 15 now. So we need, well, 2 more sets of tents. Let's go do that, simply because we can, and of course, fucking hell game. Okay, looks like we can cram one in that corner there. And one there. Not ideal, but we'll see what we can do about fixing that eventually. On the bright side, we started with 5 steam cores. This is definitely advantageous to us. I admit I am honestly impressed by the detail of the destruction because that generator exploded real hard, and as you can see, the core of it just vented straight up, blasting everything up and out. Well, fucking hell! Fucking Christ, what the shit? That was what, he was worked for his regular shift, and 5 minutes after shift ended, he died. No, fuck him. And now we need to crack open the Book of Laws and either cemetery or corpse disposal. I'm actually going to go for a cemetery because it's kind of nicer. But that's just rude! Fucking asshole had the temerity to die 5 minutes after his shift ended. And hey, one of the wooden ruins has been depleted, so we actually have a clear spot. Yay! Hey there, how you doing?
Hey.
Having fun, I see.
Mode starts off with this scenario, I guess.
Pardon?
No, the endless mode apparently starts off with...
Well, I have to admit, Endless Mode normally has a generator that's working when you start it, so I have until day 11 to get the first blizzard reinforced against, so to speak. Okay, let's see what we have on our technology tree. Well, generator construction is kind of obvious. Food, health, and shelter. Yep, that's the same from the base game. Resources. Let's see what we got. Faster gathering. Gonna need that probably. Coal thumper, sawmill, steelworks. Should definitely grab the sawmill shortly. Beacon, obviously, is what saves half of the city half the time. But as you can see, our heating tree is kind of empty because, well, the generator's busted. So what I'm going to do is I am immediately going to jump on the sawmill as an option because there's, well, some trees nearby and I want those trees in my belly, so to speak. And these assholes can fuck off. I will make them work an emergency shift. If they want to cry about it, well, they can cry about it to their mamas, because I don't care. Hi there, how you doing?
Hey, B-Man. Hi. Feeling okay? Hi. Did I ever tell you I have the reading comprehension of a lion? Why a lion? Why not a lion?
Mm-hmm.
So I made a complete fool of myself? Professionally? Oh, what happened? Like I said, I have the reading comprehension of a lion.
Well, look on the bright side. At least someone didn't die on you 5 minutes after his shift ended.
Well, he was going on to overtime. Oh, shit, 1 second. I need to find the links to that.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
On the link. Hey, I can actually join you using this, 1 second. Yeah, this is a much better setup now. Is your setup doing better? I hate it. So nothing's changed.
Yes, but you hate many things.
It's true. I hate height, deep water, fish, sharks.
Shark are fish.
Waters. Yeah, but specifically sharks.
You know what you don't hate?
Chocolate milk.
Vests.
Cats. I'm indifferent to vets, to be honest. I'm not really feeling the Francis route. I mean, you still don't hate them. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't really like them. I'm too fat, you see, to wear vests.
You're chonky.
You're chunkier. I heard undervolting or something was helps with PC stuff. What? Undervolting your CPU or something. This is a laptop that I did not want, but I have to use in order to actually get work done.
So the issue is quite simply the fact that the computer's a piece of crap.
It's been a piece of crap. What happened with the deal with trying it out and then, you know... There are no other options, really. Oh. I mean, like, there's one laptop that is actually mine, but that thing is, like, 6 days away from dying. Like, not even joking, that thing taken a lot of abuse since college, and, oh god, it broke. It's broken. Oh dear. It'll work in the sense that it'll turn on, and it can do stuff, but just, it's really close to dying, dude. Like, just, I have no better way to put it. It's on its last legs. You're gonna have to take it out and
Give it the old Yeller treatment.
Misery. I don't even know what I got. And so I have another laptop that's not this laptop I'm using, and I hate it because it's a touchscreen. You can turn off the touchscreen. I've tried. Also, the screen is busted again, so I can't really use it regardless right now. Yeah, the two laptops that, like, that laptop wasn't mine, it was my brother's. And I don't know, but like, he bought something really shitty.
Okay, so we just found the blueprints needed to rebuild the generator. Yay, that's a good start. Now we just have to clear the wreckage first.
Clear the wreckage? The area seems a bit different than where you usually start.
Yes, this is endless mode, so I'm basically completely ignoring the actual story. This is very much a case of I've had a real shit day, I have a rager, I have a headache. I want to see as many of these poor little peons suffer.
I'm with you. Sort of. I just want you to be happy, dude. Like, make these people suffer as much as you want.
I was just talking about how usually you're not in like the top of a plateau or something, right?
That's
Or in, like
right.
a valley.
That's right, yes.
Still records depleted. Shit. What happened to your core?
It exploded.
Blew up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, a generator, when overloaded, can do that, and as the end result shows, it's quite destructive, because every building that was here, except for a handful of tents, ended up turning into complete slash ruins.
Yeah, people died in that, dude. Holy shit.
Yep. I just kicked the corpses into the canyon.
So high.
I'm
Well,
surprised they don't.
The discontent is high because I used the 3 emergency shifts in a row, so on them.
Wow. These people are gonna be miserable as fuck.
Yep, and I don't care.
You know what I like about this setup though? Like, okay, so technically, I have dual screens. So I can be doing something in one screen and seeing another. It's really nice. And to put it like more in terms of, more related to what's going on here, it makes it so that I can actually see what's going on the screen, like, in more depth.
You have one screen dedicated just to the game, and the other screen dedicated to something else.
Yes. Though usually it's more along the lines of one screen dedicated for like YouTube or some stuff, you know, like just stuff, and the other screen dedicated to harder stuff, or you know, it's just like I don't have a really like specific thing. It's just whatever. I have the big screen though, my actual monitor, well, my standalone monitor. I have that dedicated to coding and watching things, whereas my other screen is going to be for less important stuff regarding reading. So just like emails and small notes and just researching.
Mm-hmm.
I know the plan is though is to get 3 monitors. I have one already. It works, so you know I can't really knock it. And so I'm gonna have to get 2 more. And yeah, it's gonna be a thing.
Okay, in short order, I'll be able to scrap this gathering post because all it has left is this pile of wood to deal with.
At least it didn't explode.
Pretty sure it did.
It did? Oh, fuck you too, like, tent, house, thing, building.
Shenanigans and fuckery.
Isn't that usually the case on these streams?
Yep.
I don't know why, but the UI just kind of reminds me sometimes of BattleTech.
To be fair, they actually came out on the same day.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, both games are 2 years old. They both came out February the 20th, 2018. And they are both fucking amazing, and if you don't have them both, you should get them both.
I have literally no money left.
Okay, so as you can see, we have finally cleaned out the generator's ruin, leaving just some support structures, but we're gonna have an absolute dick of a time rebuilding everything.
I just wish the artifacting wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
Artifacting.
That's what I said. Did I say something else?
I'm just wondering what you're referring to.
It's
Okay,
a
so you
issue
know,
of stream quality due to the fact that B-Man's computer absolutely sucks ass and hates everything. So this game, which is a very high detail game, tends to not play well with older computers, especially if you're watching it. So because there's snow blowing across the screen and all that, except when I'm paused in the build menu like this, it has issues staying coherent or cogent to older computers.
Mm.
it's also a little bit of a grumps issue on account of the bit rate.
I mean, I actually
I
bumped the bitrate up by something like from 1500 to 2500 just for Frostpunk. So it should be a very high quality stream most of the time. It's just for whatever reason that, well, YouTube
it needs
hates
shit
streaming.
sometimes.
Yeah, YouTube hates
It
streamers, you
does.
know?
It does. You've seen my streams. You can attest to that. Like,
Mm.
I'm hardwired directly into my PS4 when I stream, and it's like 200 megabits per second. It's just, you know, I still see the graininess.
Yeah. So here is where the fun begins. We can start building heavy duty buildings, but only in a tight ring around the generator, which means we're going to have to clear out more debris and shuffle things around and
Same. You should check it out to clean up some places. Clean up some things, I mean.
well, to be fair, they are only mostly little shits. And on day 4, things start getting nasty.
Now you're just being nasty.
You're having fun.
I am actually. I'm just trying to forget how bad my reading comprehension is. I mean, on the plus side, I get to see you stream, and I get to stream earlier than I want, or it depends, you know. It's just like I get to stream today as well.
Oh, that's nice.
In the metro, nothing's nice. So what are you doing? Are you going to be cleaning up some?
Yeah, I'm cleaning up some streets so I can drop a profile manufacturer in here in short order.
Awesome.
Extended shift. Yeah, that's better. Much less crankier than I'm using emergency shift.
A new law has passed.
From 6 in the morning to 8 p.m.
That's pretty late.
It's around like 12 hours or something?
14.
14? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 8. That's 14.
Yeah, normal starting time is from 8 in the morning until 6 at night.
That's 10.
Ask me about how much fun 10-hour shifts are.
I won't because you've already told me how much
Often,
you enjoy them.
and repeatedly, and loudly. Usually with an incredible amount of swearing involved, if I recall correctly.
And a face that could crack a mirror. Only because it's that pissed off. I mean happy.
Happy and German do not work together.
Yeah, I still need to get back to you on that one thing. That one German thing.
Oh, it's a running joke more than anything. There's no real heat behind it, you know?
No. I mean, like, I'm more seriously. I need to get back to you about a thing I was wanting to do, but I could not do because I don't know German.
Well, let's be fair, my German linguistics is somewhere between asinine and absolutely embarrassingly bad, so
I mean, like, you know more than I do, though.
mostly the swearing, to be honest.
I mean, hey, I won't say hell no to that, right? Alright, so where do you want to place this thing?
I just placed it. It's just a matter of shoehorning shit in at the moment because there's just no real other place to put it for the time being.
Alright, fair enough.
Do you get access to the stuff on the other side of the crevices?
I have to build bridges to extend to the other cracks and crags. And bridges
Start
are
slowing yourself
stupidly
down.
expensive.
Can confirm.
Okay, one bridge, 150 steel, 200 wood.
This is honestly just. It's kind of word for word about how you build a bridge in Death Stranding.
In Death Stranding, isn't being bridge building essentially a community project?
Yes, it is. But you still have to start it.
Yeah, so as you can see by my distribution of workload, I have people clearing out the wreckage just to the north of the generator site, but I still need to clear out a big chunk of wreckage just to the east above the cookhouse. But at the same time, because it's pushing on day 3 and people have not eaten yet, I really need to get people to eat before they start starving. And because some wild dipshit decided to go and die, I have to deal with that mess of having an odd number of people all over the fucking place.
God damn it.
And people are now getting sick, because
How-
fuck.
How are you going to be able to get more people?
Well, that's why I am researching the beacon.
Oh, right. Because then you can. Okay, I remember now.
So I have
It's
2 people that are sick again, because fuck my life. And I only have 1 first aid site. And it's about a day before follow-up treatment.
Shit.
Oh, hey, Disco Elysium is on sale.
Still can't
Disco
buy it.
Elysium is an absolutely interesting game that can be absolute pain in the ass or absolute madness or just, well, absolutely amazing all at once. In no small part because the protagonist is very much a blank slate beyond the fact that everyone knows he's a complete cock-up.
I think that, like, him being a blank slate is untrue because of his, a secondary,
Skills?
what do you call it? Like, his skill of being a complete cock up. It's so much so, like, it's not just the skill, it is a definition of his being.
Mm.
I still want to play that game. I haven't even played that game that much, so I can come into it blind and then just see what to expect for myself.
Which game?
Disco Elysium.
I thought you didn't have it.
Yeah, I know, but when I do have money, I would like to get it.
Oh, okay.
I have plans for the future, DC. Small plans, but plans nonetheless.
Okay, now that I finally have this ready to build, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that... Motherfucker.
My thoughts precisely.
As you can see, the sheer amount of wreckage around the place is very much interfering with what I can do at the moment, and getting a beacon up is incredibly important. Because the beacon will let me actually, well, do shit. like, say, communicate. So instead,
Well,
I'm just
I mean,
gonna,
there's that one.
scrap this hunter's hut.
I mean, there was one place near the middle where you could put it out. Why wouldn't you put
Yeah.
it there?
Honestly, because it takes up too much space there, because due to the way shape to fit function in this game works, it actually increases building size by up to 50% to shoehorn it into an area it's not optimized for.
Hmm. Well, that blows.
What really blows is that I am almost full up on steel and kind of need to clear these steel ruins.
Yeah, I think you might.
Okay, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna drop it in here and fuck the forest. That's right beside it. Oh!
It's fine. At least with this, you can get people, and I don't know, people are going to be more useful to you as a resource than wood is going to be overall.
Yeah, wood is an important resource early game, but it's late game where you need steel left, right, and center.
Well, don't let me steal the spotlight from you then. I'm not sorry.
You should be.
I'm not. And I refuse to be.
Ooh, an event.
And even Steven.
Sucks to be him. Yada yada yada. Boy frozen to the bone in the cemetery next to a fresh grave. Well, there's only been one grave, so sucks to be him. Yeah, if you agree his mother will wake up to attend it. Nope, sucks to be him. Fuck off.
You have no choice. He has to face his loss.
And next on the list of things to do, heaters, because it's going to get cold soon.
No shit, really?
I mean, it's only a nice balmy minus 20 right now.
That shit throws my balls off, man.
Wuss.
Oh, excuse me, I'm from Chicago, not from the Great North. I mean, yeah, weather sucks, but it's not like negative 20 degrees sucks. Although I'm glad this year we don't have a polar vortex. Man, I fucking hated that thing.
Good, we have a beacon. Now I just need to grab 15 people and kick them out.
Don't you need pigs for a beacon?
My bad, we only need 5 people for the scouts, so... Huzzah! We can go look around now.
Oh, using a balloon.
Balloon. Did I tell you how much the boys really love their balloons?
Nope, but I can make an educated guess.
The boys.
Yeah, my boys.
Your nephews?
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, I've been living with him for like 2 years.
You mean you've been living with them since before they were a twinkle in their father's eye?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it that way, I guess. But even then, like, sperm don't live that long.
That's the joke.
Oh. Okay. The joke sucks.
Aw, Muffin.
Muffin? Wait, did you say muffin?
I said muffin.
I like muffins. Although I have banned muffins from the house because I have gained way too much fucking weight.
So you're
Because
quite
of
Buddha-esque because of muffins.
Yes. Like, oh god, I gained like 15 pounds. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, how long was I depressed for? It was like only like, what, a couple months? And I gained all that weight back? That's really frustrating.
Now, as you can probably tell, I'm just going to go through as much research as I possibly can early on, simply because of the fact that I can.
You use that phrase a lot.
Well, it's true, because I can.
Fair.
Okay, so we've got 5 people being treated, 3 people that are sick, and people are hungry. Thankfully, the people are getting less hungry as shit gets done.
Because that means that they can get... Oh, okay, 1 second. Never mind, I'm back.
So, here's the fun part. Structural profiles. Very important thing for constructing buildings and all that. Specifically, the generator. Here's the problem. Takes 20 people on shift, and each profile takes 25 wood. You can see the issue.
It's way too many people.
Yep, so at the moment, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to use my scouts to basically search for more people. So, my coal production is nothing. My coal consumption is nothing. That's fine. As you can see, there's a lot of coal piles in the area, but I only have access to 3 of them.
That sucks.
For wood, let's see. I got 1 gathering post, 1 sawmill, 3 sets of crates accessible, and what looks like 3, 5. Oh, my bad. 7 inaccessible and 7 accessible for wood. So I currently gain 171 wood a day. That's not bad. One of the advantages is that I can click go to building and actually go to a building and see what's up. That's kind of nice.
It is.
There, that's better. Fucking housing issues. If you can hear that quiet swearing under my breath, that's probably because of the fact that the game has me over a barrel right now, and this is on normal difficulty.
Damn, dude.
I mean, there's a reason why Cool Guy has said that in the base playthrough of Frostpunk, you kind of wait for the scouts to save the city while you do everything you possibly can to minimize the trauma on the way there.
I mean, he's got a point there.
Sorry about that, just sneezed again. Fucking weather. And it's gonna get colder. So here's the issue. Most everything is at livable. It gets colder, it goes down to chilly. Fuck. This means people are more likely to get sick. This also means turning on heaters.
Get going. Time to earn your bread.
Now, I'm not stupid. My priority is the first aid stations staying warm. But,
Alright, so then how are you gonna do that?
you know, that's why I have heaters. They're steam heaters, so they're not great, especially without the generator to pump real heat, but it's a lot better than poking the eye with a sharp stick, as my dad would say. Okay, those wooden ruins are now depleted. These are about to be depleted. Then I get rid of this again. Then I move it somewhere else. Because, of course, it's still an absolute fucking shit show of a shambles all around this place. On the bright side, I have reasonable access to coal on this initial crag, which isn't bad. But it's just very much a case of I need to clear out more steel as well. And that means, well, you know, dealing with people whining about it being cold and being otherwise pissy little babies. If I shove this gathering post over, I actually access 2 new buildings. And that's okay, because this one currently has access to, well, those. So, not too shabby. Oh, wait, it's only just 1 new building here. So, instead, I'll just go, fuck it, and put one here. And another one down here next to the coal. And another one down here next to the other coal. Because it's going to be cold and miserable for everyone, and the coal will help.
Well, I mean, it's a plan.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be actively torturous and just kill people for shits and giggles. I want them to work for it. So I'm probably going to have to drop a bridge over here first, because there's a steelworks right there, and, well, a steel vein, and I can use a steelworks there, so. But I need more wood. On the bright side, when I do get a steelworks, they are incredibly warm buildings, because obviously molten steel's working on them, so that should be safe. I do not plan on actually using a coal thumper, but I'm going to get it anyway just in case, because frankly it is useful as an emergency system. The coal thumper, for those who don't know, is essentially an emergency fracking unit.
Oh boy, fracking.
Yes, I know, it's fracking adorable, isn't it?
You know, actually, I learned about fracking while I was in college, right? And my college professor was telling me, okay, it's not that bad.
There's rumors that fracking is doing horrible things, but there's nothing really heavily proven yet.
Confirmed.
Okay, so we found a damaged snowcat and an abandoned wreck. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's head for the snowcat first, because it's damaged and we can strip it for parts and materials. As you can see, I actually have all of my engineers tied up in work, so they can shut up for once. I really need to see about getting a second sawmill in as soon as I can, simply because of the fact that I want to clear out this mess, and this mess next to the beacon. And honestly, I'm just dealing with a massive shortage of wood, so I can drop a bridge over here and start building iron mines and all that sort of shit. Or drop one over here and see if there's a wall. I can plant a site for a wall drill, or and we all know that sort of stuff. Again, on the positive side, I have 5 steam cores, so I'm pretty happy about that, because steam cores are very important in this. Okay, the cookhouse can't do anything at the moment because I don't have any raw food, so I'm just going to turn it off for the time being. Okay. And that is all of the Tier 0 tech done, so let's jump straight into the drawing boards. Tier 1 tech... Oh! 50 fucking wood later. So, there actually is an achievement for doing all of the wrong things and rebuilding the generator. Think we can do that?
So what is the plan now?
Honestly, the plan at the moment is to just get enough wood so I can build another bridge.
Alright, that sounds like a good idea.
Honestly, at the moment, it's very much a case of I am just trying to stay on top of the curve or slightly ahead of it, because there really is nothing else I can do at the moment. The generator site is already prepared. I just don't have the resources, i.e. the wood, to, well, get anything properly built up in regards to, say, the, well, construction therein. Especially with profiles manufactured being one structural profile from 25 wood. I need stupid amounts of wood for this, and I'm not going to get much in this because of the fact that, well, quite frankly, I kind of fucked myself with the map choice.
I think this map is intended to be incredibly frustrating.
Oh, it is. It's a very nice map, I have to admit that, but it's still going to bend you over a barrel and have its way with you.
Erotic.
Without your consent.
Not erotic.
Yeah, that's about what everyone else said too. So what I really want to do is I want to rush for drafting machines and get optimized materials for the profiles manufactured, because that's going to make the profiles 20% cheaper and take 50% less time to make. That adds up fast. And as you can see, just building out to here for industrial purposes alone has already filled up pretty much all of the space here, and I still have the 4-ish ruins to deal with too. So, there's that. Then there's the ruins over here, the steel ruins in this clump over here, which is always going to be a pain in my arse. Coal, even more coal, and so on and so forth and blah. So yeah, this is definitely not one of the easier maps by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, let's see what we can do. New law. Well, I could do radical treatment, get amputees, or I could do sustain life. And I'm just going to say radical treatment, because fuck everyone. Especially because I currently have 12 people sick. Of course, when push comes to shove, then I'll need to develop prosthetics, and then have to deal with people whining about waiting for prosthetics, and have to deal with invalids complaining about being invalid. You know, the usual stuff. Oh, and hey, guess what? It's gonna get even colder! Hello.
It's me again.
So, this is about where shit hits the fan, because it's gonna hit minus 40 in about half an hour.
A minute. Shit. Why not just burn the children?
Because that needs a generator to burn them in. I don't have a generator.
Shit.
Yeah, you see
But
the
we do
problem.
Wait, you do have the blueprint though, right?
Yes.
Then just make one.
Yes, that's the entire point of this exercise.
Wait, hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second. There's a 420.
I'm going to disregard that.
Okay. But anyway, do you have the materials necessary to build a generator right now?
No,
Why not?
because I don't have enough wood, and I need at least 400 wood to build the minimum structural profiles just for the foundations, and then I need 50 more structural profiles for the basic frame, and then I need a massive whack of steel to build the steam exchangers, and then I need a massive more whack of steel and coal to build the reinforced and heat-treated plating. And then I need a massive whack of ready hands to actually build the fucking thing.
Look, okay, if you need wood, right? It's not that hard, okay?
Also, all of the trees are literally frozen and cannot be cut through with a simple axe.
No, it's simpler than that, okay? You don't need to set fire to anything, okay? You don't even have to wait till ice freezes. You just have to wait till morning.
Ah, supplies. So, we got 78 steel and 2 steel composites.
Yay. That's the bag of resources.
Yep.
Anyway, but back to my idea. Anyway, we just need to wait till morning, and then, hey, it'll be fine because we have figured it out how to get more wood. Your silence implies that you know what I'm talking about.
It implies that I have opinions.
Everybody, like, you see this thing, right? An opinion is like a butthole. Everybody got a butthole. But do you always gotta show people your butthole? You know? Why? Okay, so this is on a more serious question. Why did everyone move away from London?
Short version, because London is buried under about 5 kilometers of snow and ice.
5 kilometers? Shit. And I was gonna say, hey, they have the infrastructure there. Just replace Parliament with like a generator or two, and then you'll be fine.
Also, there's the geothermal shock effect, because London, as much as it's a nice place, is built on essentially a river estuary, and as a result, the ground is unstable when it freezes because of frost heave.
So it's like normal, except it's frozen over. So you might think that London is a nice place. I do not think so.
Well, it's London. It's a nice place for Londoners. It's not so much a nice place for anyone else.
I don't even think London is like London.
Oh, yeah. All the chavs and such, right?
And don't forget Roadway.
Well, that's the evolution of a chav.
Yeah, but it still is an evolution, therefore it's a different thing. It's like comparing a Charmander to a Charizard. One has one horn on its head, and the other can fly.
Your logic has something to it. I'm not certain what, though.
It's like an open-end book, man. Like, the story ends, but you don't know where it ends at, or how it ends for, like, the people involved. It's open-ended.
Uh-huh.
What? I will entirely, like, ruin my points just to get across a quick shitpost. You should do that medical post upgrade. Yeah, okay, you just did it.
And how many people are deciding to give me sass at the moment, other than you?
I don't know. not looking at the stream. I'm looking at the chat.
I'd be honestly surprised if the chat number is greater than 0, so.
It's just DC. He posted something. He said he was really drunk on his regular shift.
End of shift. Go rest all you can.
I have like no context for that, so I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yes, context does tend to be important, especially when it disappears, right?
Give me a second. I'm trying to think of something dumb to say. Actually, you know what? While I'm waiting, I might as well point out that your discontent seems to have gone down quite a bit.
Yep, the main issue is that it's currently fucking cold, and that people are dealing with overtime work.
I know how that feels.
Yep. Welcome to Canada. Enjoy your stay.
Man, I was in Chicago last year.
So I actually did not notice that we had some extra food, so we're just gonna turn the cookhouse back on to get things warmed up sooner or later.
Hey, that means that the hunting houses are actually doing something.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to do something, and I'm not gonna complain about them doing stuff.
I was gonna complain about them not doing stuff.
Okay, so I will eventually need a care house, but first and foremost, overcrowding. Double the amount of people that I can stick in a first aid station. And if people bitch, well, they can fuck clean off.
Content. Alright. Yeah. Yeah.
So many more idiots I need to deal with on a regular basis. On the bright side, it's going to get warmer shortly, and then people will hopefully stop freezing to death. And hopefully I will have enough wood shortly to expand to another site, because I'm going to need it. Okay, my wood storage is 183 a day. Okay, wood gain is 183 a day, so that's not bad, but it's definitely not great. As my dad would say, better than poking a sharp stick, so there's that at least. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 doodly whacks I can smack around, but I don't have the people. Without people, I can't do shit.
Without people,
Yeah.
you cannot take your poo-poos.
Let's see, on the bright side, I gain 60 raw food a day, courtesy of my 3 hunters posts, which is pretty solid. So food ration gain, 120 a day, food consumption, 119 a day.
Perhaps you can eat trees.
No. Housing conditions, 16 vacant beds, so I can have a total of 140 people before I need more tents. And nobody's happy with the temperature, because fuck me.
No, thank you. It's cold. Like, I know you say shit like, oh, whatever, it's cool, dude. But, like, I know you think it's cold, too.
That, honestly, at minus 40, it goes beyond just it's cold and more it's actively dangerous.
Yep, because that's negative 40C and negative 40F. If you add them together, that's like negative 80. And that's just super cold.
B-man.
Why do you think I'm sorry?
Because if you're not sorry, I'll try to throw you somewhere.
You know what I don't like? Heights.
Uh-huh.
You know what I don't mind? Flying.
You know, remember this. Everything is airdroppable. Once.
What about the Earth?
Everything is airdroppable once.
I have a question. Do you consider Jupiter's atmosphere as air?
It technically is. It's not breathable in any way, shape, or form, but it is an air envelope, therefore it is air.
Okay. Then I agree with you now. .93% efficiency.
Yeah, reason why is
That's
because one...
7% people.
Well, the reason why is because 15 people are currently sick, and there's a 16th one going to treatment, because this place is turning into a frozen hellscape. Good thing it's warming up a little.
So basically, it's, it's still Europe. It's still London, except it's, cold. I'm not gonna
No.
give up shitting on, Britain or anything.
Well, to be fair, who doesn't shit on Britain? Even the British shit on Britain.
That's true. So, what did our beaconer say?
At the moment, we're just waiting for people to get their thumb out of their butts.
Erotic. .0% efficiency. Is your sawmill off?
It's not open at the moment because it wasn't 6 in the morning. Yeah, so 2 people are going to eat, but otherwise 80% efficiency. Let's get those trees down.
So what are we waiting for now?
At the moment, we're waiting for scouts to be all scouty, and for the steel ruins in the area to finally fuck off, so we can plant another sawmill up here and get these trees out of the way, because they're just in the way. And they're annoying me. And we have an issue, namely that, storage near capacity, wait, what? No, it's not storage near capacity for wood. Oh, the game is just fucking with me, never mind. Okay, so we are actually near our steel capacity, shortly, because, well, as soon as that goes up, we can then find something that requires steel.
I'm sorry, I spoke over you.
Yeah, that happens all the time. I'm used to it.
Okay, so we're near max steel. So what are we gonna make?
Well, I'm researching larger storage facilities to essentially cheat the system, because that dropped the steel need by 10, and as a result, well, I have people just picking away at the steel ruins here, which is nice.
Okay.
And even if they do eventually run out of steel storage, well, there's still a whole lot of wood that needs to be stored. I now have 17 idiots being treated.
Why? It was 15. How can these people keep doing this to themselves?
Because it's fucking cold and they end up with frostbite.
Shit. can we like make them? We gotta find a way to make them warmer, like, and in a sort of trivial sense, like, are they already wearing as much clothing as they can?
Yes, and they all have personalized steam generators attached to their clothing to keep them warm, which is what the glows are on their outfits.
Huh. I never thought about that. What the hell? And how are they still getting frostbite?
Because it's that fucking cold.
God fucking damn it.
Okay, I can build a bridge. That will alleviate my steel worries for a while.
Let's bridge
So,
this community
as you
together.
can see, we have options for bridging all the way out.
Fuck you, Lenovo.
But I am building this bridge specifically so I can get access to this iron mine. This is not a short-term goal, it is a long-term goal.
The bridge is a long-term goal, or I'm sorry, I missed that.
The iron mine is a long-term goal.
Okay.
Now, as you can tell, the bridge is a new doodly whack. It is definitely not something that is, well, in the base game, for the obvious reason of not being needed in the base game.
I have a shit post prepared. Be ready for it.
I deny your attempt to shitpost. Okay, there's an explosion aboard this abandoned wreck, but we can get coal, steel, and wood. So let's explore. Plenty of steel and coal, like someone was trying to move the supplies but gave up. 74 coal, 94 steel, 60 wood. Yoink! One of the things I should seriously consider getting my hands on is the upgraded scout speed, because this is fucking embarrassing. 23 hours.
Don't mind me, I'm just ignoring my shit, my threat to shit post because it turns out I'm actually a little bit angry.
Really? Might I ask why?
I was gonna get my laptop fixed up a little bit, right? Because right now I'm using my wireless, my Bluetooth headset in order to interface with the thing. But I'm pretty sure I have a better quality if I use my my wired headset. Except the problem is that there's a headphone jack that is broken off inside the head jack port, the headphone port. So
Huh.
I cannot plug in my headset. I was at the thing today, the repair shop earlier today, and they said, hey, yeah, we can fix it. It said it's gonna be a queue guy. You're gonna have to wait until 7 o'clock in order to pick it up. And I'm like, oh shit, I have class today. And you know what the joke is? The punchline?
Shoot.
There was no class today. Except I didn't know that until after I got back home. So, yeah. I had the opportunity, but I ended up losing it because I could not have known that my class was going to be canceled for today.
C'est la vie. That's
Yeah.
something to be frustrated about, I agree, but it's not worth getting truly angry about, because it's just a case of
I'm not.
it wasn't under your control, and it's just a case of life being life and the universe being a shit.
Yeah, I just need to wait until the weekend now.
And more idiots are getting sick because, of course.
They have giant lights attached to their faces. I don't know why they keep getting sick.
Because it's minus 30 out. And they're working for hours in minus 30.
Christ, man.
Oh, and hey, there's a storm in 6 days.
Oh shit, you got a lot of discontent.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucked.
What happened?
It's cold at home. People are getting cranky because of that.
Ah, shit, fuck. So according to this article I'm reading, one of the leaks that has been revealed about the PlayStation 5 is that the DualShock 5 is going to be having biofeedback.
Oh, that's an
Part of the
interesting
controller.
rumor. It's not a rumor I will believe for a variety of reasons, but hey, at the same time, it should definitely be intriguing.
I mean, of course. I mean, take it as a grain of salt. Like, this sounds like it could cost a lot of money.
I just do
But
not like,
just yeah.
I do not like the concept of biofeedback in the use of games and such, because it can very easily be used to monitor for, say, health conditions, which can then be sold to, say, insurance companies, which can then deny you health.
Fuck.
Yes, I am building a steelworks immediately, but I am not going to man it or street it up yet, because, well, I'm that type of asshole. Now, that big chunk of discontent is entirely because of the overcrowded medical facilities, because I have 12 people sick, and the medical facilities can only support 10 people normally. Okay, I know what I have to do. I'm going to delay even more on the construction of the generator to get bunkhouses up, because I need the added warmth for my citizens. thankfully, with this new bridge, I have another decent chunk of terrain I can occupy, so there's that at least. And new law time. Let's see what we can do. Yep, definitely going to build a care house, because it's just very much a case of, well, common sense, you know?
Yeah, fair. The care house is really gonna be able to help us out. It's like, guys.
Yeah, the care house is one of those common sense laws because it's dirt cheap and it does nothing but good things. Every part of this area completely offends my sensibilities as someone who likes orderly things.
Yeah, I see what you're going for.
So I now have 18 people being treated because of that cold snap we just dealt with. And I still have no amputees, so I'm lucky. Okay, so
Only 10:30. Yeah.
So now that I have coal mining built, I am going to research the bunkhouse for the obvious reason therein of it's kind of important. Especially with that next cold snap coming in on day 9,
Yeah.
followed by day 10, and then on me.
Yeah, the bunkhouses are gonna be a really big improvement over the tents.
Yep, so I've got steel ruins depleted here, yay. I have a total of 5 bits of steel left and 67 wood, and then I can get rid of this building, so huzzah! Now, one thing that to note about this map is that without a bridge, I cannot zoom out as far as I can from the buildable areas. So, for example, as you can see, my city hub is the generator, obviously, or at least the ruins therein, and I can go reasonably far. I can go reasonably far northwards because of the expansion here. I can go reasonably far westwards because of the expansion here, but I cannot go southwards, despite the fact that if I rip the camera around, like so, and zoom out, you'll see that there's a coal mine over here that I can have access to, and a big honking hole in the ground, and so on and so forth, all the way out there. So it's very much a case of the game limiting itself not for shenaniganery, but to remind me that yes, I can go further, and I will have to go further eventually. Honestly, I'm hoping I can find a site for a wall drill at the moment, because that would be very useful for infinite wood. Oh wait, I think that might be it. Nope. That's an iron ore deposit. Fucking hell.
Fuck. But there is more wood there.
Yeah, so I have 2 iron ore deposits, 2 coal deposits, but I kind of want a wall drill site for just infinite wood for the obvious reason. Because if I don't have infinite wood, this place is fucked.
Okay, so where can you put up a wall drill?
Well, that's just it. You have to look for the site. So if, for example, I jump to resources here and say coal mine, you'll see a green button over the coal mine site, in this case right here. Unreachable location, not adjacent to street, but there's a green button there saying I can build a coal mine there. If there's a green button, say, over here, well, that's for another coal mine, and that we've already recorded that. We know there's that site there for the steelworks, and so if I click there, I can drop a steelworks there when I have access to that area.
So the game will
Yeah.
indicate when you have access
Yeah.
to.
The game will indicate when I have access to a site. And oh look, bunkhouses. This is important because I'm full up on steel and wood. Actually, I'm going to do something smart or stupid, as the case may be. Yes. Smoopid. Yes, that's a pretty good description of it. But I am going to definitely build out as many bunkhouses as I possibly can, because each one costs me only 12 wood and 10 steel.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
Wait, were those tents like? Did they still exist, or did you just because you clicked on them, they kind of went away?
Because of the upgrade process, they kind of go away, but the cost is folded into the cost of the bunkhouses. So the people who live there are temporarily homeless instead of being actually homeless.
I miss that. Wait, no, I do. I do not miss being like near homeless.
And as soon as I have enough, there we are. That's what I was looking for. I'm just going to grab that as research just because of the fact that I'm going to need it. So I'm actually going to start on the construction of the generator in this, just because of the fact that it's something I can do. In no small
Something
part.
you should be doing.
Well, yeah, because of that. It's something I need to be doing.
At the very least, it means that like living conditions will improve.
Yep, and then I just sort of, once this is done, which shouldn't take long, well, next day it will, I'll start on this, and probably just continue the loop around and purging of shenaniganery. In fact, yes, I don't need people in this one for the time being, because I'm pretty good up on food rations for the time being.
This is a good game to just shut up and chill watch.
It is incredibly atmospheric, and that is one of the many reasons why I love this game. Yay, care house up, hope rises, people are happier. So the care house is basically where we shoehorn people that are completely invalid, either amputees or people that we cannot treat because they're too sick.
Please return with a valid person.
Pretty much. And here's our first bunkhouse. As you can see, it's a hell of a lot nicer looking than a tent. Now, one thing that is a nice subtle detail about Frostpunk is that if you do not have a road going in between two buildings, like there's a road here, the buildings will actually automatically create little covered walkways between them. So you can, for example, have bunkhouses with a passageway, or a workshop, if I had other workshops around this, would all have joined passages between them, because I wouldn't need roads between them. So it's one of those little details that are subtle but appreciated, you know?
I'm only making noise to tell you that I agree.
And discontent just dropped because, once again, less people needing it to be treated, and then 4 more people get sick. Fuck!
God damn it.
Oh, look! Day 12! Fresh thing in the morning. Temperature will drop significantly.
Gosh darn it.
Yes, you can hear the swearing from all over the city.
I can hear the swearing in your voice.
Now, Steelworks, this is a fun building because it's decently insulated, but when it's operating, it actually heats up the area around it a little bit because of the fact that, well, it's steelwork.
Speaking of steelworks, looks like your steel is full.
It nearly is. It's 280 out of 300.
You might as well start making something now, just to make sure that you don't waste steel.
Well, at the moment, I'm not wasting anything because I'm still scavenging steel. So, and you can't waste it if if it gets full up, it just won't be collected anymore.
Okay. What about that bridge? You could make that bridge down south.
I don't have enough wood because I need 150 wood. I need 200 wood and 150 steel.
Shit, fuck.
So, as much as I would like to, I actually need, let's see, minimum of 2 bridges to get to this coal mine over here. It will be... I need a minimum of 2 bridges to get to the coal mine way over there, too. It's just... at the moment. Yeah, 2 bridges to get to this coal mine here. And, as mentioned, well, I have a bridge here, but I will need 1 here and 1 here, or 1 here and 1 here, or just 1 here and 1 here to get to this coal mine, and then we'll see what happens.
Ah, shit. Where the hell is the found there? Some getting trees now. I wish there was something more you could do with these trees.
To be fair, most of the wood is vastly needed because of simple construction things like, say, bunkhouses.
Yeah, right. But the bunkhouses look like they're complete already.
Well, all but those 5 were.
Uh, and there we go. Hey, what's that thing that says 0 up top? The red one.
That there, that would be could not resume production because we don't have enough food, raw food to make production. And, of course, there's the grayed out one here for the facility being closed.
Yeah, but you still have like 223 rations, so that's fine.
Yeah, because at the moment the cookhouse is cooking faster than I can produce food, and in time that will change when I get more people in here. At the moment I'm just going to wait and get 75 wood so I can start on the next tier of wood lumber construction, well, research, because I'm going to need it.
Yeah, it sounds like you do. I really want to build that bridge, dude.
This bridge
Well,
was,
then here you go.
yeah, this bridge was very important simply because of the fact that it gave me unlimited access to steel, which I will need for mid and late game.
Wait, effectively infinite or actually infinite?
Actually infinite.
Nice.
See, look at that. Big fat infinity symbol right on top of those steel bars.
Hold on a second, let me see.
The infinity symbol right on top of the steel bars there requires at least one worker in the steelworks.
Okay. Sorry, Steam delay. Stream delay. And also my tinnitus. Tinnitus is annoying.
Well, to be fair, it is a little whiner, isn't it?
Yep. Well, okay, so you got those 75 wood. What did you do with it again?
I'm using it for research, in this case advancing my technology tier to the next level.
Okay. And when you advance to the next tier, what do you gain access to?
In this case, it unlocks access to optimized materials for the profiles, the foundry, various bits and bobs of research that I need for, well, building onto the generator. More importantly, it adds access to the infirmary, flying hunters, which are very important because they get a whole lot of food real fast, the hothouse upgrades, better insulation for the bunkhouse. Over here, it involves a better sawmill, better steelworks, the wall drill upgrade, if I recall correctly, and of course, shenanigans like the large resource depot, gathering post insulation so it's warmer in the gathering posts. For exploration, it means lighter sleds, which means they're faster. The factory, so I can get prostheses. And in heating, improved heaters, which is so very important. So very important. You need more heat. So it's going to be minus 40 in one day. And if I look at my economy here, we will see that all of the homes that I currently have are now livable, which is nice. I temporarily have 24 homeless citizens because I have 4 tents still remaining and 10 bunkhouses, which is quite nice. For health, I have 11 citizens in treatment, 0 untreated citizens, and both medical posts are working at 110% efficiency. Yay! Food processing, well, I am currently gaining 80 rations a day and consuming 119 a day. I will need to restore access to this hunter's hut in short order, but at the same time I have 220 standard meals, so I don't have to worry too much about that for the time being.
For the time.
Yeah, for the gathering, for the steel wreckage I have access to, well, I have 1 bit of steel wreckage I have left to access, actually. And, well, decent efficiency on the daily gain therein. But, other than that, I have 5 pieces of wreckage I don't have access to, and 1 steelworks that's currently shut down. That's okay. For wood, as you can see, I have 2 gathering posts that are going full ham. I have 1 that's sitting around with some of its ass, and I have 2 sawmills going full ham. So I'm making 350 wood a day. And then I just burn it all because I kind of need it. I have access to, looks like, 4 pieces of wood, 3 sets of crates, and 1 set of ruins. And then, well, 7 bits and bobs of just freestanding crates floating about on the different promontories and such. For coal, well, this is an issue. I am consuming 121 coal a day. My coal supply will last for 3 days at current consumption. and I have basically no real access to anything except 2 coal piles. So, yeah, kind of concerned about that, especially with that blizzard coming.
We need to start getting stuff done now. I'm also gonna step away for a moment. Give me a bit.
Have fun. So, the big kick in the pants here is hunting tactics, because I will need 5 less workers per hunting hut to get the same amount of food. This is vastly important because, well, it frees up anywhere between 5 to 45 people, depending on how many hunting huts you have going at any one time. So you can be damn certain I am jumping on that opportunity with both hands and both feet. And new law time. Let's see what we got. There we are. Prostheses. It's nice to have because it makes people happier, even if it's not very much a case of something actually happening. And of course, it is another resource to deal with. Thankfully, yay, we still don't have any amputees. We still do have 15 children to wrangle, though, and that's annoying me. This gathering post is just about finished, which is nice.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So, I'm just finishing up my last bunkhouse, so people are all of a sudden not too concerned about dealing with the fact that it's cold out. Because, hey, to them it's now comfortable again. As you can see by this massive wall of cozy.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let me catch up to where you are.
Yeah, it'll just take a few moments. I showed it off for a few seconds, so there's that.
It says livable.
Yeah, which is cozy in this case. The current issue is quite simply overcrowded medical facilities, and that's because I have 9 people sick out of 10 beds, so I figure most of them just ran into one medical facility instead of actually spreading out properly like they normally would. And overtime work, because nobody likes working overtime.
Question: how many of these do you have? How many medical facilities do you have?
I currently have 2.
And they're all
Yep.
dated.
Yep. So, normally a medical post can only contain 5 people. In this case, due to the overcrowding law, I can double that to 10 people, but there is discontent that rises when there is more than 5 people in a medical post. Which is slightly annoying when a bunch of whiny children all go to the same building. And in fact, 3 of them are children going to treatment. If children die, there's no skin off my nose. No skin off my ass either.
I'm laughing.
And as you can see, with 9 people being treated now, the discontent modifier for overcrowded medical facilities is gone. Huzzah! Okay, traces of human presence and twisty passage between boulders don't seem recent. Raw food and wood. And a buried hamlet. Found several frozen bodies in sleeping bags around the remains of a fire. Plenty of fuel and food, but the cold got them anyway. 49 raw food, 74 wood. Yoink! 1 day and 1 hour to arrive, and I am concerned because I know that a storm is coming.
Shit.
So, there's 8 steel left here, which will take less than 2 hours to deal with, and then I can get rid of this gathering post. I am fairly certain that I'm going to essentially use this site for hunters' huts and such. Simply because of the fact that there's no real other reason for it. Oh, got an amputee, finally.
Yeah, boy.
Work accident, yada yada yada, badly injured, can't ignore health hazards, yada yada. Safety level of every workplace at the construction site will be monitored. People working there will get sick if it's low. If it's very low, they might get injured or die. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, so, well, too bad for him.
Hey, we have a care house now.
Yep. Kind of knew that was going to be needed eventually. Anyway, let's start adding into this. Yeah, that should be a good start.
Stepping away again.
You'd think these people here would actually take the road, which is clear, and they don't have to forge through 6-foot-high snowdrifts, but nope, they just walk in a straight line, because they're fucking idiots. I admit, one of the only complaints I have ever had about Frostpunk is that you can't zoom in further to watch the incredible amount of detail on the various constructions and such. For example, just watching the lumber mill clamp onto a log and cut through it so you can just see it go through and all that sort of stuff. Because the detail is, honestly, very nice. It's just not something you can easily see.
Maybe just like the general detail is nice, but the textures themselves are look really jank or something up close. And maybe that's why they don't let you watch.
I don't know about that. The developers went to a lot of great pains to make things look as nice as they could, just by looking at things, and you know? Anyway, that's enough grumbling about that, because seriously, the game's still pretty as fuck. Okay.
I have an idea. There's
Yeah.
probably mods that you let you do that.
That is possible. I'll have to check it out sometime, but, well, for now, I'm just re-upping the amount of hunters I have hunting so I can have more food stores going on, you know?
Of course, man. You know what they say. A hunter must hoard.
I am not going to dignify that with an answer until you actually beat Bloodborne.
I can't. I only have it on PlayStation Plus, and I'm not playing. I'm too poor to buy that right
You're
now.
not paying the $65 a year to get PlayStation Plus, I know. Or you could just go to your friendly local game shop and pay $20 for a physical copy.
I told you I am literally out of money right now.
I know, I'm just being a shitter.
I know. I just wanted to explain my details to whoever would, want to watch the VOD.
As I said, I'm just being a shitter now.
I mean, that's just general you.
Okay, so here is the start of the new shaft structure.
You said something about Jack?
Pardon?
Nothing. I'm just punning.
Okay, so this is an issue. It is very cold.
Yeah, that tends to be an issue.
Yeah, so in this case, I'm going to actually wait a bit on that because I'm going to need 50 people in this mess. Now, here's something to note. On day 12, the temperature drops 4 levels, so it goes from minus 40 to minus 70. On day 13, it goes up by 4 levels.
So it goes up 40 degrees?
Yeah. Now think about that. Imagine how much of a temperature shock there is when something goes down 40 degrees to minus 70 and then up 40 degrees in one day.
Things could break, dude.
Yep.
Well, like, legit things can break.
Yep.
Oh god, that's gonna happen, isn't it?
Most likely.
Fuck. What can we do to alleviate this?
Fuck all.
What?
Nothing. Nada. Zip.
Shit.
Zilch.
This is bad, man.
So I immediately pumped out a second squad of scouts. This is for the obvious reason they're in of getting people moving and doing shit. Because
Alright.
I am getting lighter scout sleds. So, new lighter sled design, scouts move faster. This is important, for the obvious reason. I will eventually want 3 full scout teams, and this is because with 3 full scout teams, like taking a total of 15 people, I can actually explore fully, and there's going to be survivors and loot everywhere. It's going to be important to get that. Answer.
Okay, so these new sleds, right? How are the teams gonna be getting them? Are they gonna have to touch base over here by home camp and then get the new sleds?
Nope.
Or does the game just be nice and say like, hey, you got a new sled now?
The game's nice. It automatically rewards your scout teams.
I'm sorry, but that takes me off the game a bit. Not takes me off the game, but like it ruins my immersion.
Honestly, in this case, I will accept the gameplay conceit, that even though it ruins immersion, because otherwise the option would be to bend over and suffer.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the game is difficult enough that bending over and suffering is its default status for everything you say and do. So at the moment, I have the, well, structural supports already set for installation. And I have a backlog of 6 more profiles in storage, and 6 more under construction. This is due to the fact that I can use the protective structure, which costs 6 profiles, but it installs, well, support structures around the workplace to improve safety for 24 hours, which isn't bad. But it's definitely something that is, well, to take note of when you need to absolutely do something. Another factor is quite simply the fact that I'm going to very shortly empty out this building and cram them all into, say, the gathering hub over here to get some coal, because we're running low on coal and it's going to get fucking miserable shortly. There we are. That fixed that. Forgot to turn that fucking thing on. So looking at the economy, daily gain of plus 20 each, so raw food gain of 60 a day, and of course the efficiency is down a bit because people are fucking sick. On them, I say. But we need the extra food. Seriously, we have 20 people being treated right now. What the hell? Why are they so sick?
I don't know, man. I don't know at all.
So yeah, full workforce, maximum efficiency and all that. 2 untreated assholes, 20 in treatment, and 0 deaths. Yay! And if you look at the graph, you'll see that, well, the healing rate is trying to keep pace and generally doing okay-ish. Oh wait, that's why, because it's minus fucking 40 out. Look at this, it's fucking miserable.
Right.
I mean, minus 2 penalty to the weather, plus 1 bonus for the heater, plus the whole trying to theoretically warm up. You notice how,
Yeah?
if you look carefully with the temperature overlay on, you'll see that there are people with little warm spots around them moving around. That's their own personal heaters, that's part of their winter uniform, basically.
Yeah.
And as buildings heat up, well, that's nice to see. Oh, scouts have reached the buried hamlet. Let's see what we got here. Survivors!
Awesome.
Okay, so, mostly children. Fuck!
Yeah, fuck.
Turns out that it's 28 workers, 8 engineers, and 12 children. So, yeah, what the hell, I'm escorting them to the city, because I'm going to need them. Stone ship, place standing out. Empty shelter, place standing out. Fuck it. But yes, survivors are important, and as a result, I now have, let's see, so 28, 30, 36, 46, 48 new mouths.
Yeah, you're gonna have to open up your all your, or at least get them really efficient. Your hunting post, I mean.
Yep, but that's okay, because I'm awesome, so.
How much can a bunk hold?
A bunkhouse can hold 10 people, same as a bunch of tents, it's just warmer.
Okay.
Storm on the horizon!
Crap.
And everything goes to shit as a result.
Can you make those bridges now?
Almost. I just need about 60 more wood.
Also, are you working on the generator? On the generator right
Yep,
now?
I am. And of course, storm is coming modifier. There goes a chunk of hope.
Crap.
Honestly, I need more coal, so I'm going to grab more coal. Yep, for the moment I need 20 more wood before I can build another bridge. And I'll probably just bump it straight up towards the nearest coal mine, so... Well, it's 2 bridges either way, so on me. Okay, so I got options for new bridge sites. Let's see. Ah, there. That white area that I'm wiggling the bridge over, that is the site for a wall drill. So I'm glad I know it is there, because it will be incredibly useful, for the obvious reason of infinite wood supply. And over here is a site for another wall drill. In fact, I'm going to go for that one first, because, well, duh, wall drill. Next,
A wall drill.
then I will actually have to go through here and here to gain access to this coal mine, or here and here to gain access to this coal mine. Beyond that, it's just very much a case of I really, 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 really need access to basically an infinite supply of wood, and the wall drill is going to give me just that. So, yeah.
Then prioritize that. Where is the nearest wall drill place thingy?
2 options. First option is over here next to some freestanding steam cores. Second option is over here right next to the fucking village.
Yeah, the one that requires the least amount of materials to get to.
That would be the one I've just set in then.
good. Because considering that this fucking storm is coming right now. It also means that we won't have to worry about having to set up more sawmills just nearby somewhere around, just so that you can get this fucking stuff.
Because that will be important.
Awesome, the slots are done.
So next up is the steam sawmills. This is, well, it's not mandatory, but it's definitely important. A note of thanks. Yay, someone else left a note in the care house. Thank you. With all the work we have to do, it's hard for families to properly care for an invalid. Yada, yada, yada. Hope goes up.
Yay.
You see, I'm not a total asshole. I'm just mostly an asshole.
What happens when hope goes all the way down?
I lose.
What happens when discontent goes all the way up?
I lose.
Yeah, shit.
You know, that's one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to actually research the wall drill.
Yeah, that'd be a thing. But, you know,
Yep, it's on the to-do list.
What are you building?
I am currently building some more bunkhouses. I have the bridge under construction over here. And then it's just research, wait, and hunker down because that storm is going to roll in shortly and kick my ass.
Yeah.
Big thing is that I have coal supply at the moment, and coal is important for what's coming.
I was gonna say, make sure you build those roads again. Because I think you might have deleted the roads so much so that people cannot come back.
No, I made sure that the roads are still fully connected.
Alright.
So, child shelters. This is also one of those things that you don't normally look at, but the important thing, hope will rise, and providing all children with a place to be in a shelter gives a permanent hope bonus. I will need 2 of them at the moment.
Okay, do it.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
So it'll take some more wood, but that's only because I have 24. I only have 12 more children crawling in shortly. But as a result of that, I can then have the children become apprentices to either the medical posts or the engineering stations, which do research and get bonus efficiency. In this case, it means I will most likely feed the medical stations to get people healthier faster. Because, you know, common sense and all that. It's not that rare, is it? So at the moment, the shaft structure is currently closed. 2% complete! This is going to take a while.
Where did you build that other child shelter?
I haven't built it yet. It's right next to the steelworks, though, so they can enjoy the fumes.
Yay. Huh. Right, that bridge is done.
Okay, so we found this rock formation, and there's a wrecked vehicle nearby. 12 hours to get to the wrecked vehicle. Let's go for it. And then I immediately do a runner right back to the town because that storm is getting close. Look at that! Whee!
Ah, crap.
You know, there's a reason why I described the storm as actively malevolent.
Yeah.
Okay, people are starting to be less sick, which is nice. People are annoyed at overtime work, but sucks to be them. I have
But
made...
you're hungry now.
Yeah, but, well, that'll change. I need 20 wood for a fucking hunter's hut at the moment. So for coal, I'm gaining about 260 a day and I'm consuming 92 a day. That's not bad, but it just means that shenanigans and fuckery is going to happen. So I have to be careful about that. Because as you can see, the projected spike is one thing, the projected consumption is another. And 2 more people are sick. Because of course.
Give me another minute. I'll be back.
I am doing a short bit of time compression here. Partly because there's nothing really to do, and partly because of the fact that, well, in less than an hour my first scouts are back. And hope rises, because the child shelter is complete. And pause. So, 36 people free, 172 total population. This is a good thing. First thing to do. Drop a second child shelter in. This is entirely to get the extra children off the street and make hope rise. Second thing to do will be to upgrade my sawmills to steam sawmills. But actually, I need some more hunters' huts. So, I cannot place this one here because, well, construction fuckery. So, c'est la vie. I will have to fix that later. I am going to put in one here. And one, well, actually no, not here. So, that will bump my daily food intake to 80 raw, which means outtake of 160 regular. This will be almost enough to cover everything, and that's okay. Next up, this. Get people in there, working. And in here, working. And get the 2 new workshops set up, because at 4 workshops you've hit the maximum possible research growth. So that'll alleviate some of the resource constraints I've been fighting with for a while.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So, shit's about to hit the fan. Got some coal, steel, and steam exchangers from those wrecked vehicles, so explore, grab, and run. Snow dune over there, wrecked warehouse over there, but there's no time. I have 15 hours to arrive, and the storm arrives in 1 day, 20 hours. But because the storm loops in from out to and in, you can see it's already frozen areas that I could have gone to. So, it's getting close, and I don't have time to get to the ruined warehouse.
Yeah, just abandon it, dude. Just come back.
Yep, that's the plan. Run for it and hunker down. Progress is going on the shaft structure at about 48% efficiency right now, which isn't too shabby. Especially seeing as how I can only get a maximum of 62% anyway with only 31 people working there. And a new law. Let's see what we can do. So, I mentioned this. Medic apprentices. Education is the key to your future. Let's teach our children medicine so they can help with the sick. Children from child shelters will help at medical facilities, raising efficiency. The other option is engineer apprentices, which helps at workshops, speeding up research. We will not need that. We want the medical upgrade. So very much.
Why?
Because my medical post efficiency just went from 110% for the medical post upgrade to 130%. So that 30%
Damn.
bump means that patients take even less time to recover.
20%.
Yep. So they're going from over a day to about 13 to 20 hours, depending upon how long it's been. Oh. Okay, rushed construction, emergency solution. Coming storm threatens our work. When it hits, progress on the current stage will be lost. Rushed construction to finish work quickly. If we make it before the storm completes stage, will be safe. Rushed construction will cause problems, though, so we have to use this ability wisely. Okay, this is concerning. I'm going to pause the game. Okay, so here's the option. Option A is I take rushed construction and fuck up somehow. Because it will fuck up. This will damage the foundations in some way, and as a result, the generator will be damaged and unable to properly construct to anywhere near the value it should. I have an estimation of 1 day and 15 hours to complete this thing, and the storm arrives in 1 day, 18 hours. I could hit emergency shift, and people will work for the next 24 hours non-stop.
No, it's not
So.
worth it for a rushed machine. What's the other option?
The other option is I lose my current progress and just build again for when the storm's over.
Fuck. That's what's gonna happen then, because you can't rush this stuff, otherwise it's gonna end up pulling
Yep.
on you.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to abandon the construction. As much as I loathe to do it, I kinda need to. I am then going to get more people into food supply. And the sawmills. To just make certain that things are going properly. And the steelworks here. And then I go back to building on the structural profiles as well. So, wall drill has been researched. Yay.
Yay. You know, if I drilled into my wall, I could also find some wood.
I think you would also find certain people angry at you.
This is also true.
Okay, note of thanks from the child shelter. Yep, yada yada yada. Back in London is only wealthy. If doesn't have to send the kids to work. New world you're creating. We see things will be different. Hope rises. Yay! People like me.
Yay. I like you.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm handsome.
I mean, that's not false, actually.
And so this is what a wall drill basically looks like.
I'm hoping it's phallic.
Well, what it does is it lives up to its name. It drills into the walls. Yes, I know, I'm using my first Steam Core. Whoop-de-doo, shut up, game. Well, what it does is, as mentioned, it drills into the wall to collect trees that have been basically buried in the snow and ice, to give me an infinite supply of lumber.
Yay.
You would not believe how incredibly important that is.
I have a question.
I might have the answer. What's up?
This turbo storm, right? Like, where isn't it affecting? Is the equator okay?
To put it politely, this is just a light storm because it's only one day at minus 70. There's no such thing as turbo storms.
I meant in terms of the overall plot, like in the lore. Where is safe from the freezing?
Around a generator.
Second ice, including the shit, including the equator.
Including the equator.
Shit, what the fuck?
The going theory in the Frostpunk universe is that essentially what happened is not a case of global cooling, but that the sun has dimmed.
So it's like the plot to Sunshine.
Yes, I'm not going to do the rushed construction, so fuck that guy. Now, again, there is an achievement for rushing construction and generally surviving with the generator having all of the flaws, but I don't feel like dealing with all of the flaws.
Yeah.
So the storm arrives in 1 day and 12 hours. My last patrol here comes in just under 6 hours, so yay for him.
Get as much done as you can right now.
The big thing I'm looking for is insulation. In this case, fuck, I need steel. Fuck, I need steel. Fuck, I need steel.
Man, you ran right the fuck out of steel.
Yep, that's what happens. Because if we look at my steel inventory, we'll see that I'm out of steel wreckage. All I have left is the steelworks. So I'm only gaining 28 a day. I'm going to need to work my ass off getting the steelworks basically running and running constantly in order to just keep plugging away at this. And it's going to hurt.
Yeah, you need to do this right now, then, it looks like.
Well, that's why I'm playing on endless mode, because I know this is gonna suck, but at the same time, it's just also me making people suffer because I'm an asshole.
I'm tired, dude. I'm sorry.
And that's okay. Get some rest, alright?
Alright. I'm gonna go sleep. You know what? Yeah, anyone who's watching the VOD up to this point, like, enjoy what Selenar is showing you, because this is legit fun stuff to watch. I'll fight a lot. Whenever I'm not talking verbal diarrhea, like, this stuff is actually really engaging to watch, and I just kind of shut up and just watch it. It's good stuff. Like, so thank you for watching.
Frostpunk is the game that lives up to its name of being a city survival sim instead of just a city builder. And as a result, it is incredibly difficult at the best of times. And again, I'm playing this on essentially normal difficulty. Hello, minor graphical glitch of that guy walking straight across a chasm. And when push comes to shove, I wouldn't have it any other way. honestly and sincerely enjoy this game because of the fact that it does everything it can so thoroughly and so completely. The developers really turned this into a labor of love, and it shows across the board. So, this is what's left of the map. Our first storm is rolling in. Shit's kind of fucked in it.
I forgot I was supposed to leave. I kind of passed out and I was looking arm. You guys have fun. Take care, okay?
Have a good one, B-Man. As for why I am going for healthcare insulation, well, it's kind of obvious for the obvious reason they're in. Yeah. Healthcare buildings are part of the handful of buildings that only work when they're above a certain temperature. They get too cold and people start getting too sick. Plus, more importantly, it is difficult for them to actually, well, stay healthy. Well, I'm stumbling over my words, but the general idea is that if it is too cold, the medical posts and such cannot operate. So it's unable to just keep people healthy or treat them or anything like that. And that's usually what causes most deaths at the end of the base game, before the obvious reason they're in. Anyway, we are just going to shut down basically everything for the coming day because it's going to be absolute misery. So, good times had by all. Not. And as a result, okay, so I am just going to actually just select the buildings and say off. So both gathering posts are now off. The sawmills off, off, and, well, even the wall drill off. And the steelworks off. This is to prevent people from freezing to death.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming.
So here it is. This is the frozen hellscape.
Get going. Time to earn your bread.
It is 70 below. The beacon is currently stored because of the storm. Everything is covered with ice. Cold. You can hear the metal groaning. In the workshop, -5 weather, +2 building insulation. It's simply too cold to really tolerate. Even now, it's very cold instead of just absolutely miserable. It's too cold. It's cold at home, it's cold at work, there's overtime work, but there's nothing to be done of it. At this point, it's just hunkering down and hoping to not die. My hunters' huts are disabled by the storm. It's too cold for them. My cookhouse is inoperative. It's too cold. nothing is going to work because of the fact that it's simply too bloody cold. Even with the healthcare insulation, it's too cold. There's no chance. The storm will last until almost halfway through day 13. And all of my hard work in the shaft structure, it's gone. Construction progress will fail. Mild frostbite, citizen became gravely ill. 157 people are freezing. 9 people are sick, 2 gravely. A severe frostbite citizen had to have a limb amputated. It's only going to get worse from here. I forgot to turn off the profile manufacturer. God damn it, me. It is just too dangerous, too cold. I would like to upgrade to a steam sawmill. I don't have the steel. It would be nice, though. Even the child shelters are simply too cold to operate. Which is kind of funny, because you'd think that people would be willing to throw their children into freezing cold buildings just to get them out of their hair for a while. Even the care house. Too fucking cold.
A new law has passed.
So, with this new law, we can get people to basically duke it out and deal with discontent by beating the tar out of each other. This is not a stupid law by any measure, but it's definitely not one that is a priority for a variety of reasons, primarily pertaining to the fact that it is fucking cold and fucking miserable. Normally I would plant it somewhere more ideal, but at this point I'm just going to shoehorn it in over here because I can, and because, well, there's no other real spot to put it. So the storm is over in 6 hours. I have 20 people sick, 2 of them gravely, well, 21 sick now, and another amputee. At this point, I should probably nickname the community Stumpy McLungers Are Us, because they're all stumps. "41 people are now sick. 44. The storm ends in 90 minutes. Fully 1/3 of the people that live in this site are sick or injured because of the cold. And the storm is over.
Work time. Get moving.
Okay, now that I have that out of my system, brittle steel is arguably the nastiest hazard in the early and mid game. Require more steel to obtain desired strength. Yeah, okay. 10% more? 20% more? No. No, 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 no. Let's say I want to build a steam sawmill, which at last cost was 40 steel. It now costs 90. That is a 125% increase. I have that condition for 5 days and 23 hours. I will not be building anything involving steel for that duration because it costs so goddamned much. So I have 3 amputees, 47 people sick, 0 gravely now, thankfully.
That's good.
And it will take between 19 to 20 hours per person. Thankfully, despite the fact that the actual construction has increased its costs quite painfully, research costs have not. So, got a patient here who's frightened. He's facing death, but he's refusing amputation. Keeps screaming he doesn't want anyone to touch his leg and won't change his mind even though gangrene will kill him in a matter of hours. So, we can either leave him as an amputee, or leave him to probably die. You know what? He's replaceable. Now, you're probably wondering why I have not deleted the sawmill here. It's because there is a research upgrade that allows me to gain access to this little bit of forestry right over here. And once that's dealt with, then I'll delete the sawmill. So it's mostly me being a completionist bastard and deforesting the entire area instead of just most of it.
Sorry, I was asleep for most of the stream. Didn't help.
Did you have a good sleep at least?
Yeah.
Oh, someone died. Sucks to be him. Yep, the patient who refused amputation has died of gangrene. We did our best to ease his pain, but he suffered terribly. Yes, it was his choice. I hope he died screaming. So, I currently have 33 steel in reserve. I need a hell of a lot more. At least I'm decent on wood for the time being. Yep, more sick beds needed. So, some of the people are complaining, yada yada yada. I'll open a new medical post. That's cheap and easy. After all, a medical post costs nothing but wood. So steelworks cost 25 wood and actually 10 steel if I recall correctly, or 15, one or the other. Steam steelworks costs 40 wood and currently 65 steel because of the brittle steel hazard, but it gives you, well, 30 more steel per standard workday, so instead of 40 it goes up to 70. You can easily see just how vastly important it is to upgrade the steelworks as quickly as possible, because, well, yeah, that first basic upgrade is, well, plus 75% right there, you know? And it only goes up from there. Now this is a neat little feature that I don't use nearly as often as I should, but by selecting this and the check mark, it shows you where you have planted all your engineers. So I ostensibly have 32 engineers at the moment. As you can see, however, I only have, well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 available, because 2 are sick. They're amputees or in palliative care at the moment. So fuck me, right? Okay, I got steel and steel composites at this overturned sled. Let's explore a desolate valley and decrepit village. Yoink! Possibly more survivors. Yay! So as you can see, for the absolute bastardy pestiness, that is the children existing, there's a total of 9 that are sick, and 1 is a sick amputee. Empty campsite? Well, it literally is quite empty, so onwards to go. In this case, my goal is, at the moment, getting more people, because, well, bluntly, we need the meat. Though I admit I am strongly tempted to just feed children to the generator as soon as I get it up and running. And survivors. So, mass food poisonings ravaged its workforce. Doctors got to them in the nick of time to save the sick, then a blizzard trapped them all for weeks, and now they're all eager to move on. So, 17 engineers, 37 workers, 22 children. Fuck. Yeah, I'm just gonna escort them. It's safer that way, even if I have to deal with even more children. Okay, so I have 29 vacant beds, of which 17 are in the care house. I can deal with 18. I can deal with 180 people. So, with that in mind, I'm going to have to build some more housing. So, I just noticed the time. It's getting up there. And honestly, I am feeling a bit tired and draggy. I've had a bad day, and it's affecting my judgment and opinion on things right now. So, I am actually going to call the stream very shortly. I'm just going to start the research on optimized materials, and then that'll be it for tonight. I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank anyone who decided to swing by and see what the hell stupidity I was up to with my commenting about having a real shit day. And I hope you guys didn't mind me just bumblefucking about on an incredibly difficult map with an incredibly difficult challenge, namely that of having to build a generator from scratch using nothing but spit and polish. So, take care of yourselves, have a good evening, and again, take care. Have a good night.